the core, which you don't need. And cut that into very small bites. And you see the preparation of this is very, very quick and easy. Now once that's done, I also have some peppers been cut into squares or wedges, and 2 spring onions. And now we're ready to cook. You start by heating up your wok until it's quite hot. Again, this is terribly important. Now, why? Because when the wok is hot, you wind up using a lot less oil. We have 1 tablespoon of sunflower oil, and I tend to measure it because that's sort of safer. You make sure you don't use too much oil. As you can see, when it's hot and smoking like this is when you add your meat. What to do is you want to seal your meat, and you could hear it sort of bubbling away and just cooking. And this is what you want. That keeps all the juices in the meat. And of course the meat is very tender, so you don't want to cook it too much, because all the flavors will come out of it. Now just continue to stir fry that. Just for about a minute or so is enough. And when you're finished, just take it all out, like that, and put it aside. You just let that meat rest for a little bit. Now, we're just going to finish up our sauce by putting in some shredded ginger, and that's about 2 tablespoons worth. Our peppers, and our spring onions. Just stir fry that just a little bit. And now we're going to add a tablespoon of water, or you can use stock, 2 teaspoons of rice wine, the Shaoxing rice wine. And you want to stir fry that around. And 2 tablespoons of low salt soy sauce. And this will take just about a minute or so. Then add the pineapple. Now you see that lovely color, and the pineapple will add a nice tart and sweet taste to this without additional sugar, which is what's very nice about this. At this point, I'm returning the beef back to the wok. And again, over high heat, stirring that around and sort of giving it that final wonderful flavor. And this is the hallmark of also good wok cooking. You know, everything tastes like it's been grilled and barbecued. And you could do that without very much fat. Now for a final touch, we're just going to add a half a teaspoon of sesame oil. And that's a very small amount, and that's just to give it a very aromatic flavor. Just give that a nice swirl. That's my beef and ginger pineapple that's good for your health. Now I'm going to show you a great vegetarian dish that even meat eaters can love. It's called my quick bean curd in spicy chili sauce. First, you need to heat the wok until it's hot. Then you want to add about 1 tablespoon of sunflower oil, just like that. Next, we have 1 tablespoon of coarsely chopped garlic, 2 teaspoons of finely chopped ginger, 3 tablespoons of coarsely chopped spring onion. You want to take that and stir fry that around for about 30 seconds. I call this my holy trinity of garlic, spring onions, and ginger. You want to cook that so all its aroma can come out. And then we make our sauce with 1 tablespoon of hoisin sauce, 1 tablespoon of tomato puree, 2 teaspoons of chili bean sauce, and this is what will add sort of the spiciness. And I want to add 1 tablespoon of low salt soy sauce, just like that, a teaspoon of sugar, a half teaspoon of sesame oil, and to finish that off, I want to add 3 tablespoons of water. Mix that up really well and just let that simmer. You can buy bean curd, popularly known as tofu, in any supermarket these days. Bean curd itself is rather bland, but it's great at absorbing the flavors of anything you add to it. Now, you can add all sorts of things to the mix. And the bean curd acts like a sponge, absorbing all those flavors. I'm just going to cut this up into square 1-inch pieces, like that. I have about 1 pound here of bean curd. And what you do is just slide this into your sauce. And what you want to do, you want to be careful because it's rather fragile, so you don't want to actually stir fry it as if you would do with a piece of meat. You want to take that, stir this around gently until all the bean curd is coated with this lovely, spicy and delicious sauce. I say this sauce can even wake up the dead. It's so good. Now, we just put that down and just let it simmer for about 3 minutes. You can actually even cook it more because bean curd is really hard to overcook it. It will just get softer and softer. And that's my quick bean curd in spicy chili sauce. You could serve this with noodles and green beans or a green salad. And the whole meal will be around 200 calories and less than 2 grams of saturated fat. Fantastically healthy and totally delicious. I'm going to finish up with a dessert, believe it or not, cooked in the wok. It's my favorite, ginger pears. What you want to do is peel 4 pears and cut them into quarters and of course remove the core and the seeds. Then take a lemon and cut it in half and squeeze the juice over the pears. Now what that does is it prevents the pears from getting brown and also adds a nice piquant taste to this dessert. You want to pour a pint of water into the wok like that. And you want to add to that 2 teaspoons of sugar. You don't really need much more than that. It's not going to be super sweet, but it'll be quite nice because the pears themselves are quite sweet. You want to add 1 vanilla bean, and we want to add sort of 8 slices of ginger. You know how much faith I have in the healthy properties of ginger. And this will add a lovely exotic flavor to this unusual dessert. Bring this to a boil, and you want to make sure all the sugar is dissolved. When that comes to a boil, you want to add the pears, like that. And again, let it come to a simmer, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cover it and just let it cook for about 20 to 25 minutes. Remember, the cooking time varies depending how ripe the pears are, and you could check it every now and then with the sharp end of a knife like this. I'm just going to take them out with a slotted spoon like this. And what you want to do is discard the ginger. You can keep the vanilla bean, dry it, and store it in sugar. And over high heat will reduce the liquid to a syrup by boiling it very fast. And the wok is perfect for that. Now that's reduced and done. So I'm just going to pour the syrup on the pears like this and serve. Or you can let the mixture cool, cover it with cling film and refrigerate it until you're ready to serve it. And that's my ginger pears cooked in the wok. To lead a healthy lifestyle, you must know what to eat and how to cook it. It's simple, really. Use fresh ingredients, keep the fat down, keep the salt low, and walk your way to good health.